All right. Very good evening to everyone, and I think we are meeting after almost 1 week because you all were busy with your IATS and you all were studying hard. And on top of that, I guess you all had some webinar last week, so I didn't thought of disturbing you people in the midst of your IATS and other schedules and engagements. So now that you all are free from your IATS, I'm going to continue my next topic for today, which is nothing but writing memos. Okay, so what is a memo? It is a short form of memoranda or memorandum. Okay, basically, memorandums are used for internal communication within an organization. Let me be very, very clear with this. Memos are used for internal communication within the organization. Okay, unlike emails. Now, emails can be used for writing or you can say emails are used for internal communication as well as for external communication, whereas memos are exclusively used for internal communication. So basically, how would you define a memo in that case? Okay, let's try to define a memo in a very simple term. So memos are messages. What are they? They are messages giving information or instruction. Now look at this, to one person or a group of people in the same organization. They are often sent by email. The last sentence is very important. Nowadays, people are using emails very extensively, so it's not necessary that emails are used only for external communication, but in case you want to write a memo to somebody, you can use email as a means of writing memos. Okay, so what are memos? As I already told you, memos are nothing but, okay, messages giving information or instruction and sometimes even warning. Okay, information, instruction, okay, either to one person or a group of people in the same organization. Okay, so traditionally, I'll tell you, there is a short story about memorandums. Traditionally, people used to write memos on a letterhead. Okay, usually you can see the one what you can see on the screen right now is a traditional memorandum. So it is like, typed on a piece of blank paper, or either on a blank paper or sometimes even on a letterhead. Okay, usually it has a heading called as memorandum. Okay, it has a heading called as memorandum, and then followed by that, this is the format that is generally used in the traditional way of writing memorandum. Why am I using the word traditional way of writing memorandum? Is because memorandums are having its own format. Originally they were written in a different way. It had its own format. It was a kind, it is also like something like letter only, because it is typed and printed and circulated. It is not posted, it is circulated or directly handed. If memorandum is for one single person, it is handed over directly, not through post or by putting it in an envelope and posting it. No, because memos are information or messages within an organization, so you don't have to close it in an envelope and send it directly. It is handed over to one person, or if it is for a group of people, all the members of the group get a copy of it, either one common copy, or it may be like everybody gets a different copy. So the traditional syntax of the memorandum is something that you can see on the screen right now. So look at this. Okay, if you look at this, it shows a piece of, usually the size of paper which is used for writing memorandum is again A4 size. As I said, companies may use their letterhead or they may directly use a blank paper. If they're using a blank paper, this is how the syntax goes like. So you can see the heading is memorandum. They don't write memo. We while speaking, we may say memo, but you don't have to write memo when you are actually writing the heading as the memorandum. Okay, so in spoken communication you can definitely use the word memo. Okay, but then don't use it while you're writing it. So here's a sample example. Okay, so you can see the format says that it has something called as to, put a colon, and then it is to whom. The memorandum is for whom. You need to mention whom are you writing this memorandum for. So suppose if it is for a group of people, then it will be GTS sales staff. In this example, it is GTS sales staff. Okay. Suppose if then next one is like from, to and then from. It is from Karen Moore. Okay. Suppose you want to send a carbon copy, a copy of the same memorandum is to be sent to some other person. Then you need to mention the name of the person to whom you intend to send it to, and then the date when you are sending or writing that particular memorandum, and the subject. Look at the format. Okay, this is the format that is generally used in the traditional way of writing the memorandum. So I repeat once again, whenever you are using the traditional format to write a memorandum, you must use a blank paper. Okay, preferably blank, or even letterhead. Sometimes it generally letterhead is not used. Some people use letterhead, but most of the times it is the blank paper. Okay, with the heading at the center called as memorandum. Then you need to mention whom the memorandum is, either it is for one person or a group of people, from whom it is, whether you're sending a carbon copy. If you're sending a carbon copy to somebody else, mention the name, the date, and the subject. So in this example, the subject is customer presentation. Okay, and then after the subject, you can see like letter, there is no opening, dear Mr. or dear sir or madam. You don't have to write all those things. Okay, directly you need to come to the point. What is the point? Now whatever matter you want to, information or message you want to tell to that one person or a group of people, you directly have to write it. Like for example, it is like the JSKL marketing presentation you prepared last week to showcase our new product line was exceptional. Your enthusiasm, sales strategy, and product knowledge were impressive and certainly sealed the deal with Mr. Lockhart. Thank you for your outstanding work and dedication. Bonus checks will be distributed. My sincere congratulations to all you. So you can see the matter is directly written. Okay. Palak, please mute yourself. Palak, Palak Munavat. All those who are attending the class, please mute yourself. So you can see that the matter, whatever you wanted to tell, okay, in this example, you are trying to thank that person, okay, you're telling that whatever you prepared last week was exceptional, then the type of attitude that person showed in that particular arrangement or in that particular task, you're just praising that person, and then you're thanking. And sincere congratulations to all of you. This is an example of a memorandum which is written in a traditional format. So now let's take some more examples. I'll show you one more, two or three examples of sample memos written in a traditional way. So here's another example. Okay, so you can see here. The previous example was for a group of people. Now it is for an individual person. Again, I'm repeating, memorandums are messages or information written either to a single person or a group of people within the same organization and not outside the organization. So memorandums are used for internal communication only. Okay, so it is written in a blank sheet of paper. Preferably the size used is A4 size, just like what we do while we are writing letter. It is typed, it is checked for errors, grammars, punctuations. Okay, and then a printout is taken, and either if it is for a group of people, either it is circulated or it is handed over personally. So here's an example. You can see that the title, the heading is memorandum, which is at the center. Now in this example, it is to all staff from the manager. The date is May 27, 2018, and the subject is inappropriate use of time on Google Doodle games. So there is something, wrong in this example. And wrong in the sense, you can say that in this example, okay, the manager is not happy or not really very happy and is dissatisfied with some way of handling the things, or something is wrong. As I said, memos can also be used for to communicate some kind of a complaint. It could also be in the form of a complaint, or you're launching some complaint, you're telling that there was serious thing that happened. It need not always be information or message. Sometimes it is a warning also, and sometimes it is like, you're telling something negative, or you're just giving a feedback. So in this example, you can see it is to all the staff by the manager, written on May 27, 2018, and the subject says that the people, all the staff people, are not, inappropriate use of time on Google Doodle games. It's a part of a Google app. So here you can see co-workers. Okay, it has come to my attention that many in the office have been spending time on the Google Home page micro games. This memo is a reminder to use your work hours for work. That means people are using playing games during work hours, and somebody has observed it. The manager has observed it. Most of them are doing it. So he has written a memo. So this memo is like a warning, or you can say it's like a reminder. Okay, so already he is telling that, see, it has come to my attention that many in the office have been spending time on the Google Home page micro games, and this memo is a reminder to use your work hours for work. According to recent article, the estimated daily cost of people collectively playing these games instead of working is over 120 million dollar, which is calculated based on daily average increased time spent on Google homepage, that is 36 seconds. If these estimates are applied to our 600 office employees, this results in a nearly 700 weekly dollar loss. See, this is a loss that the company would incur with an average of around 600 employees. This is what he's trying to tell. So he's reminding. So this is a conservative estimate considering the extensive discussion that occurs about beating the office's current high score. The extra cost quickly adds up. Of course, we don't want you to view our organization as a place of drudgery and draconian rules. I encourage a fun and competitive environment, and I recognize that we certainly won't be profitable if you are unhappy or dissatisfied with your jobs. This is just a reminder to be careful with your use of company time. Thank you, the manager. If you look at this example, although it is mentioned in the beginning to whom it is and from whom, yet he has started with co-workers. He has put a comma. That means something like what we do in letters. We say dear, Mr. But here, since it is for everybody, he has still opened it by mentioning whom the memo is again. All staff but co-workers. And then again at the end he's mentioning thank you and the manager. So this is another example, but there's nothing wrong if you do this. Okay, so I hope you got to know the difference. In the previous memo, you see it was for a group of people appreciating their work, the way they did the work, the way they perform. Okay, there was a lot of appreciation and thank you at the end. But in this example, again, it's for a group of people, I mean almost all the staff, but then it is like a reminder and a warning as to what has been observed, and due to a lot of estimation has been done with the type of work that the people are doing and wasting their time on the internet playing games. What would be the repercussions and all those things? And at the end, again they're telling, look, this is a reminder, you need to take care and not to do it again. So look at the both are memorandums. One is a positive and this is a negative. I mean, positive, there it was thank you, here it is, kind of warning. Let us take another example. Now look at this. Okay, memorandum, again the heading is memorandum, that comes at the center. Then to Mr. Harry Jones, manager. So you're mentioning to whom it is for, and what is this designation. Now this was not found in the previous examples. Directly the name was there, but look at this example, to Harry Jones. Along with that his name, we are also adding his designation. Okay, then from whom it is, Trainer Smith from sales department. So this is again a different thing. Date March 13, 2018. Look at the subject. It is for one to one. In the previous example, it was one to many. This is one to one. What's the reason? Subject resignation. Okay. Now again he's opening it. Again specifying the name. Mr. Jones, he says. And then please accept this as a 2-week notice of my impending resignation from the company. I have enjoyed my time and the professional growth I have experienced with the company. This is a very, very short notification telling the person, the manager, Harry Jones, that he's telling, look, another 2 weeks is left for me and I'm leaving and I was very happy working in this company. That's it. So this is a very very short and sweet memo. Okay, and this is an example of 1 to 1. So he is telling, please accept this as a 2 week notice of my impending resignation. That means already is informed. Again, is giving a reminder. Another 2 weeks are left. I've enjoyed my time and the professional growth over here, and in the present company that is working. So this is how you write a memorandum using the traditional method. Okay, fine. Now coming to the next point. Now, if you look at this definition, memos are messages giving information or instructions to one person or a group of people in the same organization. But then, as I said at the end, there's one more important sentence. They are often sent by email. Whatever I taught you so far just now, that is the traditional way of writing memorandum, which nowadays people are avoiding because they feel instead of writing, typing, taking printout and then sending, okay, almost all the purpose of email is also the same. You can send email either to a group of people or to one individual with the subject wherein all the details are there, when to whom the email is being sent to, from whom it is, date, time, subject. Almost every component of email that we use can be used to write a memo. So these days people are avoiding the traditional method of writing a memo. So what they do is, instead of using the traditional method, they use email application to write memos. I repeat, nowadays emails are used to write memos. What will be the difference? Whatever etiquettes I have taught you, rules and regulations I have taught you with respect to writing emails, you need to use the same thing for writing memos using emails. Okay, in the examination, there's one more IA test left for you people. I may ask you to write an email or a memo or a business letter. Okay, any one of these questions could come to you. Fine. So if I ask you to write an email, if I ask you to write a memo, you have to write it using the email. Okay. What is the difference? There is no difference. As I said, there is no difference. Whatever rules and regulations I have taught you people while you were studying how to write an email, everything is applicable to a memo. Only thing is the language and the content may, because you are writing memos to people whom you already know in the organization, you may not be too formal. Okay, so you will get to know the types of examples which I'm going to take now. Okay, sample memos which have been written, some real time memos. Now this sample memos are those memos which are written using email. Okay, so to, from, carbon copy, blank carbon copy, subject is a must. Okay, and followed by that comes the opening, matter, closing. So here's an example. Now look at this example. Okay, so this is an example of a memo which is written using an email. The subject line says IT system. IT system. Now look at the opening, to all staff. So as I said, memo can be written to a one person or a group of people. You can use email to, you may have an email group, group of people. Just like you have WhatsApp group, you have email groups also. You can add all the people in your email address into one group and send a message to that group. It gets delivered to everybody. So in this example, you can see the subject is IT system. Now opening, you can see there is no dear Mr. last name or dear sir, dear madam or dear first name. Directly it is to, because you are addressing it to everybody. So to all staff. Now look at the matter. Please note that the internal email system will be unavailable on Tuesday from 9 a.m. because we are upgrading the software. Hopefully we will complete this by 3 o'clock, the IT department. If you look at the opening and the closing, it's not very formal. Why? Because you're writing memo using email, or you can say you're using email to write memo, and to people whom you already know, and sometimes to group of people whom you already know. There is no need to be too formal. Language is not too formal. At the same time, it is not very informal also. Kindly note that. Fine. So you can see, to all staff, and directly, as I said, keep it short and simple, come to the point directly. You don't have to give your introduction because you're writing memos. using email to people whom you already know. You don't have to give your introduction, company introduction, blah blah blah. All those things not required. Directly come to the point. Please note, you're telling, please note, there is no internal email system on Tuesday. From what time? 9. Okay, why? Reason. And by what time it will be ready? 3 o'clock. Very simple. And there is no regards, thanking you, or all those stuff is not required. Okay, so you can see the difference. Although this is also an email, it is actually an email. Of course, it's a memo written using email. So technically, if you say it's an email only, but the opening and closing is very different. The language is like, to the point. I'll take another example. Now look at this. Subject: meeting on 16th May. To staff. Instead of all staff, the person has written staff here. Now look at this. Again, he comes directly to the point. There will be a meeting on 16th May at 9 a.m. in order to discuss the rebranding project. All department managers are required to attend. Now this is one to many. Previous example, many to many. IT department was writing to all staff. Now in this example, Gabriel is writing to all staff. So this is an example of one to many. Look at the opening, to colon all to staff, and closing, he has not written regards, yours sincerely, nothing, directly his name. Why? Because he assumes that people know each other very well. There is no need to open and close it and be too formal. Okay? So this is another example. This is one to many. Look at the next example. Subject, this is one to one. Urgent help required. To Tracy Best. Okay? The person is writing to Tracy Best. Look at the message. Dave Collins, our new system administrator, will be here at 9 o'clock on Monday. But I've just realized I'll be with the accountant at that time. Please could you give him a tour of the office when he arrives? Question mark. You're directly asking a question mark because you have to find out whether Tracy is really available on that day. Can she really help you? With luck, I'll be free by about 9:30. Okay? Thanks. And then Matt. So these are all real-time examples taken. Okay, so look at the way the person has written the memo here. Okay, this is one-to-one. Matt is writing to Tracy. He needs help, so he says urgent help required, and then he tells what directly comes to the point. Dave Collins, who is he? New system administrator. When is he arriving? On Monday at 9 o'clock. And he tells that I've realized at that particular time he'll be with the accountant, and so in his absence, he wants Tracy to take him to the tour of the office because he's a new person. That would be his first day. So she can just take him to the office. Okay. So he's asking, please, could you see the language, tone? You have to be very humble. You have to be very polite. Okay. Give him a tour of the office when he arrives, asking question with, and then he's telling by what time he'll be free, and then he says thanks and Matt. So here he's saying thanks because he's requesting her something and Matt, but it's not very formal at the same time. Now look at another example. Feedback on training program. Subject: feedback on training program. So this is for all. So assume that somebody has taken a training in a company, has organized some training, and a few staff members are taking the training. So dear all. Now this person, instead of saying to and putting a colon and saying all or staff or all staff, he directly says dear all, comma. RE. What is RE? Regarding. Whenever you are using RE, it means you are mentioning it's regarding. It's regarding what? Our new training program. And now he says, I'm sorry to say that we have had number of complaints. Please see the attached feedback from participants. There will be a meeting next week so that we can discuss this together and decide what changes we need to make. So he's telling there is some problem. What is the problem? Complaints regarding the new training program. And he is telling that he has attached the feedback. Okay. And in order to discuss this, there will be a meeting. Okay. And what changes in that meeting? They're going to discuss what changes we need to make. And then he says, Abby, no regards, nothing, thanks, nothing. Because it's a kind of a complaint, kind of some kind of negative remarks to all people. As I said, memos are very straightforward messages. People will not hesitate to even tell what wrong you did, what mistake you did. It's a reminder, warning. People are very straightforward in companies. Okay. So it just says Abby. So this is another example. Now let's take a last example. Now the subject is new HR manager. So the previous example also we saw it was from Abby to all the staff. So one to many. So this is another example to all staff. The subject is about new HR manager. Look at the way he says. Now look at the way he has opened to all staff, he says, and he puts colon. Okay, generally Americans they put colon instead of comma. So he says, I'm happy to tell you that James Winter has now accepted the post of human resource manager and will take over from Marcus Doyle next month. Okay, that's it. Windy, very simple. So he just told that there is some new HR manager who has joined and whom he is replacing. Okay, and when he is going to come. That's it. I'm happy to tell you that James Winter has now accepted the post of human resource manager and will take over from Marcus Doyle next. That means Marcus Doyle was the previous HR manager who has left, and this place is being replaced by James Winter. Look at the content, it is so short and brief and to the point. Language also very good language. There is no slang language, there is no abbreviations, PLS, and all sorts of LL, LOL, BTW, no, all those WhatsApp type of SMS abbreviations are not supposed to be used. I told you when you're writing memos using email as an application, whatever rules, regulations, etiquettes I have taught you while you're writing an email, same thing applies for writing memos. So let me summarize, guys, what I have taught you today. I've taught you all what a memorandum is. I gave you a definition what a memorandum is. It's either a message or an information to one person or a group of people within the same organizations. Memorandums can be written in two ways, in the traditional way, or you can use email. In the traditional way, I told you that it has its own format, like the one which I showed you in the beginning. Blank paper is generally used, A4 size paper is used, the heading will be at the center called as memorandum, then there are the to, from, date, subject. Okay, to whom you are writing, from whom it is, date and subject, and directly the matter. There is no signature and all those. Directly a printout is taken and it is being sent. So this is the traditional way of writing memorandum, which is generally a hard copy which is being circulated or handed over. But nowadays, as I said, memos are not written using the traditional method because people find it's a waste of time typing, taking a printout and circulating, and that's the reason people feel organizations are using email very extensively for writing emails, professional emails, business emails to within the organization, and generally nowadays, if emails are within the organizations, they are nothing but memorandums only. So this is all I had to tell you about writing memorandums. I hope you have followed my session. Please, any comments or anything that you have not followed, I want you people to answer me. I hope the session was clear and concepts were clear and understood. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Vaishnavi, Palak, Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Anybody else who is there in the voice? Ritesh,
Yes, ma'am.
Kirti,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Deepika.
ma'am.
Is there any doubt that you want to ask or anything, any comment, anything that I hope my subject, please give honestly tell me, are you following the subject matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
subject is something which I have to take in classroom, make it very interactive, wherein I speak less and you speak more. I am supposed to be a facilitator and get a lot of work done by you, but it cannot happen on online. But still, since it's one way communication, I hope whatever I'm teaching you, people are following.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this ends the topic of a memorandum. There's one
Yes,
more
ma'am.
topic on writing, that is writing notes, which I will be taking. Probably I'll take it tomorrow itself. So actually, tomorrow my portion for the entire communicative English gets over. But I want to take one more extra class on writing curriculum vitae. I wanted to take this in the physical classroom. I wanted you people to submit me your CVs and then tell you what type of mistakes you people do. But as I said, the traditional way I take my classes cannot happen on an online platform. So again, I will try my level best to convince the people how to write good CVs. Okay. So two more classes, one on writing CV and one on writing notes. Okay, so that's it. That's all I had for my today's class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.